wasn't familiar for Deuce was sitting down with Cooper in the Manning Hour.
Saints Hall of Famer, Deuce McAllister.
Ooh.
How you doing, buddy?
Doing good, brother. The Manning Hour. How many shows have we shot?
We're nearly 3 hours in 10 years.
10 years?
Yes, sir. The 10th year, the decade.
And I'm just now coming on. Man, I feel crushed. But that's your call too, right?
Well, it's someone else's.
Come on.
There's an executive board and an advisory committee.
We got to talk to the board.
Bored is kind of the attitude of most of our watchers. A man who's synonymous with being a New Orleans Saint. Football was not your first sport.
No, it's not. I love soccer.
And did you just get tired of being made fun of? Why did you quit?
Thought I had the best opportunity to make it to the professionals playing football, the other football.
Not all of us speak Latin. Semper ubi sub ubi, which means, of course, always wear underwear.
Me knowing you, I don't think that is the case.
You mentioned the transition to the media. A lot of preparation?
A lot of preparation. I mean, the one thing that you want to come across is factual.
Pause right there. Edelman, listen to this, okay? Do you think I would do well on the radio?
You've got the face perfect for it.
It's kind of hurtful. Deuce, you're a Saints Hall of Famer, Super Bowl ring, and now you've been on the Manning Hour.
It's perfect. We're in this beautiful facility, Manning's Sports Bar and Grill.
Right.
How about Manning's and McAllister? I got
I'll
more
have to
letters.
check with the board. You're the best, my friend.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Adorable. If you had this on your bingo card last week, good for you. The now 1-2 Panthers were the only NFC South team to get a win in Week 3, and that was with their backup quarterback. Of course, Carolina had benched former #1 overall pick Bryce Young in favor of Andy Dalton. The result, nearly 30 more points, 3 times the passing yards, and 4 times the touchdowns, and a win. So today, those Panthers host a Bengals squad that's surprisingly desperate for a win, sitting in 0-3. Joe Burrow has never started 0-3. But Mike, I want to ask you, does Dalton keep this thing going against his former team today?
No, I don't think he keep it going. It was good to see them come out and play with a lot of energy, a lot of passion last week, and it was a much-needed win. And I think it was a team that had everything to gain and nothing to lose. Sometimes it's easy when you playing that way. So today will be a much tougher test, but I don't see Cincinnati falling to 0-4 right now at this juncture of the season. I know they're a slow starting team, but today they got to be looking at this as a get-right game and an opportunity to get back in the win column. So I don't think they beat the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay, well, for more on this matchup, let's get in the know, brought to us by Jersey Mike. Striggs, what's the latest?
A lot of ink was spilled on the Bryce Young decision, but last week it worked out very well. Andy Dalton became the first player of the season to throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns in a game, and the Panthers got their first win in Las Vegas. What happened afterwards was the owner of the team, David Tepper, presented the game ball to Dave Canales, the head coach, who made the gutsy decision, and the entire team swarmed him and celebrated afterwards. Dalton has these guys playing. Chuba Hubbard played his best game of the season. The Panthers have new life after last week. And how ironic, the Cincinnati Bengals on the verge of a season lost and going 0-4. It could come down to their former quarterback, Andy Dalton, putting the final stake in them today.
Reality stranger than fiction. All right, let's stay in the NFC South, you guys. Mike talked about what a great game this is to play in, that Saints-Falcons matchup. Did Philly give Atlanta the blueprint last week, Charles?
Yeah, they did give them the blueprint, but not for the reasons you would think. It's not about scheme or anything like that. This is about personnel. So first of all, you better go draft you some Georgia boys. Because when you look at this Philadelphia defense, and you talk about Jalen Carter, who should have been a Raider, by the way, Jordan Davis, and those guys up front, what they really did was they manhandled the Saints offensive line. Last week, I gave the Saints offensive line all kinds of love, right, for being able to push the middle of the pocket, allow Kamara to get out on the edge. Philly was having none of that. They were able to get pressure up the middle, get pressure on Derek Carr up the middle, not allowing him to step up into the pocket. And then also Nakobe Dean, I know he's been hurt often in his young career, but he came back and he was sideline to sideline, and so the speed of that Philadelphia Eagles really started to take over. So the blueprint is about personnel and getting the proper guys up front. You don't have to worry about getting pressure off the edge.
Because it's not the X's and O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Jimmy's and Joe.
Or the Jalen's.
Jimmy
The
Jones.
Jalen's, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, Jules, when you look at their record, the Saints are 2-1, the Falcons are 1-2, but who's the better football team?
Right now, this game's going to determine who's better. But I think the Atlanta Falcons are a lot more confident of a football team. And it stems back to 2 weeks ago when they played Philadelphia on that last drive when Kirk Cousins led them down the field, scored that touchdown. They won that game. Then they go toe to toe with the champs. Okay, that's a measuring stick game, and they could go in that locker room and say, "Hey guys, we were one call away." Now there's a lot more plays, but in that locker room they could say there was one call, so their confidence is at an all-time high. When you look at the New Orleans Saints, you know, we were talking giving them the rushing title, you know, 2 weeks ago, and then all of a sudden it gets stopped. They're looking in their locker room like, hey, was that just a mirage those first 2 weeks? So I think Atlanta Falcons are a much more confident team going into this week. Okay. It's in Atlanta. I think that the Atlanta Falcons are going to get them.
Well, historically, if you look at the Saints, are actually 5-1 in Atlanta over their last six.
This new regime. Let's see.
Yep, it's going to be a good one either way. Coming up, Terry Bradshaw. That's always a good time. Joins us in.
Lawyerly. You know what I'm saying, Michael?
You were also showing us your Valentino shoes.
I do have on Valentino shoes. I got these at Walmart on discount. Artificial leather.
They're called Valentino shoes at Walmart, but we love them. You look great as always.
God bless you.
Should we talk quarterbacks? Because this is a little segment called CT and the QBs.
I don't like my picture, by the way.
Then we'll get that
I look a lot better in person than I do on that board.
You look great all the time. You know who else is looking great? Sam Darnold.
Oh,
you like that segue? Segue.
Sam Darnold. How happy are we, Michael, that Sam Darnold on his fourth team is with a team that has an offense that fits him. He's coached. He's happy. And that's 97-yarder he threw 2 weeks ago, or last week, was just a thing of beauty. I've never seen anything like it. Standing in that pocket, standing in the end zone, stepping up, no panic. down the middle of the field, a thing of beauty. I'm really happy for Sam Darnold. And he's found his home, and I think right now they're pretty happy with
the
him.
job that Kevin O'Connell has done with him.
That's what I was gonna
and
say.
playing with a great defense.
Yeah.
Mike, what do you like?
Like I say, Kevin O'Connell, like you just said, he can identify with the quarterback position, so he know what it's like to get Sam Darnold going, to get him in the rhythm. It's just, that's what great coaches do, and it's good to see that Sam Darnold didn't give up on him. They gave him an opportunity.
Malik Willis has done a great job stepping in for the injured Jordan Love. Jordan Love is back today. What are your expectations for them, Terry?
Oh, man. The way Malik played, Michael, you had to be impressed with him. You viewers out there. Malik, I think he came in and did an outstanding job. He didn't have any turnovers. And he moved the offense and ran it well, and plus his skill set with running with the football. So impressed with what he did. Now Jordan comes back. And I'm, like anything, he'll be a little rusty. He has to trust his leg.
Yeah, what's the biggest thing he's got to worry about? Fear.
You got to get past it. You
fear.
got hurt.
And when do you get past that? The first hit? Like
yeah, pretty much the first hit.
Okay.
With Jordan Love, I expect him to play even better than he did before he went down.
Why?
Because look, when your backup come in and ball out, I know it always made me want to come back and play better. So he gotta be on his A game, or they're gonna be, respectfully, they're gonna be called for the league. So
how many guys are sitting on that bench and they've been down 3 weeks and the backup comes in like the running back down in 49ers, and you're going, McCaffrey's going, I gotta heal up fast.
I'm going to Germany.
Yeah.
I'm going anywhere to get right.
I just hope nobody knows I'm here.
Yeah. Well, next game I want to talk about the battle of the former #1 overall picks, Matthew Stafford, of course, for the Rams, and then you got Caleb Williams in their game today against the Bears. Matthew able to pull up that victory last week against the 49ers. What do you expect from this game today, Terry?
I think the Rams will win this football game. I love Stafford. He might be my favorite quarterback. Best arm I've ever seen in the NFL, and I've seen some good ones out there. So I think the Rams going on the road, even though their receivers are a little bit banged up. Stafford is a guy that can move it. He's been in all the positions. He's won a Super Bowl, and he's going up. There's a guy named Caleb Williams on the other side, but he has a coach that wants to throw the ball way too much, as far as I'm concerned.
What would you do? What would you do?
They got to get back to doing what they were born to do, which is run the football. For the last 2 years, the Bears were 1 and 2 in the league in rushing the football. Now they're throwing the football over 40 times a game. That's way too much. Waldron, all the players came in and had a meeting with Waldron, the offensive coordinator for the Bears, this past week, saying they weren't happy with the way they were running their offense. Williams is the real deal, but they're throwing way too much.
Mike, what do you say?
And for Caleb, just keep your chin up. Like, it's not the end of the world. It's early in the season. I want to see them just get some consistent drives, some drives where they get 3 points, 7 points. I want to see them having fun. Right now, it's just kind of look like he's in a dismal state. Look, man, it's not the end of the world. Keep your head up. Keep playing ball. Keep having fun. You earned the right to be in the NFL.
That 1 yard play on 4th down last week that would have won them the football game was the dumbest play. The Swift and runs around. You're on the 1 yard line. You end up on the 13-yard line. That is like ridiculous.
I think that's just crazy.
You know why? If I was running that offense, Mel, I'm going to tell you something right now. I'd fire the head coach, Eberflus, or whatever his name is, and I'd take over that job myself. So I'm going to tell you something else. I'm a whole lot smarter than them boys. I guess I better leave right now.
All right. For
I'm
some
being
more
subpoenaed.
intriguing
I'm
match.
out of here.
Let's go to Trey.
The greatest of lawyer of all time. Not a bad quarterback either. Terry Bradshaw.
He should have been here for segment 2. He should have been here for the B segment. He would have won. He would have won.
Okay.
See you, Uncle Terry.
One of the greatest defensive backs to ever suit up. When it comes to postseason football, only one player in the history of the sport has more catches and receiving yards at the wide receiver position, and that's Jerry Rice. And this guy right here, Julian Edelman. Kelsey's got one, but Kelsey's a tight end. Just let me give you your flowers. Pretty good players right here. Let's get into some matchups today. Bills, Ravens tonight. Ravens, obviously desperate, 1-2, and then the Bills 3. Awesome game. Charles, which head-to-head matchup are you looking at?
Oh, my head-to-head matchup, man, are the QBs. Oh, yeah, this is Josh Allen. This is Lamar Jackson. You're talking about Lamar Jackson. He's a 2-time MVP. Just a couple of weeks ago, or last week, they were 0-2 going to Dallas. We're kind of looking at Baltimore. What are they going to do, right? They go 0-3. They're not going to make the playoffs. But Lamar Jackson says, hold on. Not so fast. Don't worry about it. We're going to Dallas. We'll take care of business. Now here comes Josh Allen, having one of the best starts of his career. The one problem we had with Josh Allen the last few years and why he doesn't win MVP, turns the ball over too much. But guess what he's not doing right now? So I think Josh Allen is saying, hey, maybe I'm the best quarterback in the game right now, and I got a chance to win MVP. So my head-to-head matchup are the two QBs tonight.
Hey, I'm getting back into this like litigation talk.
Okay.
You know, those two don't play against each other, but Josh Allen does play the pass defense of the Ravens, who are last right now. So I think that's the key matchup. Ravens are good at stopping the run. Buffalo's been running the ball decent. This is going to come down to the weapons of the Buffalo Bills, who has been a lot of guys. I mean, Shakir has been scoring touchdowns, Coleman, Johnson out of the backfield, Cook out of the backfield. And like you said, Allen's been distributing it and not turning the ball over. So I think the Ravens' pass defense has a huge match that they have to come up
New
and play.
defensive coordinator Zach Orr, 32 years old,
Yeah.
and yet you said it, the worst pass defense in the
Worst
league.
pass defense, and you gotta defend the pass in the
All right, a surprising team is Seattle. Monday night they play against the Lions. Quickly, the matchup you're looking at, Seattle versus Detroit.
It's the trenches. It's the offensive line for the Lions against the defensive line for the Seattle Seahawks. If the Lions have to throw the ball 35 times, they'll lose this game. If they can control the trenches and they can run the football, that's when their offense gets to flourish. Their defense is beginning takeaways and good stuff on that side of the ball. So I'm going with the offensive line versus defense.
For me, it's about the crowd. It's about the 12. When you think about Seattle at home, they always have
This
the 12.
one's in Detroit.
Talk about that crowd noise. You played this, been one of the loudest stadiums, right? It's always loud when the other team's offense is on the field. But now they're going to be in the Superdome.
House of Horrors.
With Detroit, they have new life in this organization, and people are feeling it. They're going to feel that stadium. And so now, when Seattle's on the field, they got to go against the Lions and that forward field crowd. So I'm looking at the matchup between the crowd and the offense of the Seattle Seahawks.
Ford Field might be the new House of Horrors in the NFL. Carissa, over to you.
Thank you, guys. Head to a Fox Sports app to play Fox Super 6, sponsored by DraftKings. It's free to play for a chance to win cash prizes. One of today's questions is, who will have the most rushing yards? And a look at today's late games on Fox. We'll discuss that when we return.
Liberty Mutual customized my car insurance, so I saved hundreds. With the money I saved, I thought I'd get a wax figure of myself. Cool, right? Look at the craftsmanship. I mean, I even got my nostrils right. It's just nice to know, years after I'm gone, this guy will be standing the test of time. He's melting. Oh, jeez. No. Only pay for what you need.
Oh, here we go. Season 12!
The Masked Singer, all new Wednesdays on Fox.
Excitement comes standard with the Honda Accord. And so does a turbocharged engine. Sophisticated. High-tech. Style that enhances functionality. Stand out with the Honda Accord. From Honda, the most awarded brand in Car and Driver 10 Best history. Contact your Honda dealer today or shop online.
You may be wondering, what's the difference between Bob Casey and me on abortion? We both believe in exceptions for rape, incest, and to save the life of the mother. We differ on the third trimester. I support Pennsylvania's limits on elective abortion in the last months of pregnancy. That seems reasonable. Bob Casey supports late-term abortion and tax dollars to pay for them. Senator Casey has the more extreme position. I'm more middle of the road and looking for common ground. I'm Dave McCormick. I approve this message.
Yeah, we are not going to be able to get that done for you today.
Are you seeing red flags with your bank?
You know you're my number one priority, Brad.
It's Brian.
Like unnecessary roughness? As the official bank of the Philadelphia Eagles, First Trust is contractually obligated to talk in football metaphors. We're like a brotherly shove for your bottom line.
Brian. Yeah, it's Julie from First Trust. Are you ready to kick things off?
And you can literally sign us today. First Trust Bank, the official bank of the Philadelphia Eagles.
You can win big on Hard Rock Bet with a little bet. Yeah. Or a Post Malone size bet. Oh, yeah. And you don't need to know everything about every sport. Because I know. Yeah, me either. All you need is a feeling and a phone. You definitely need a phone. Big payouts for every kind of player. Hard Rock Bet.
seats, USB ports, and a storage console. But mine is $700 less. See how much you can save when you dare to compare. In-store or at mybobs.com.
My life is out of control because of my addiction. I want to feel like myself again, so I made the call.
Once I reached out and learned about medication that can support my recovery, I was able to do more with my life. And now I know that there are better days ahead.
844-REACH-NJ.
It's Daniels! Slippery is Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels keeps it! Scoots into the end zone!
He has played so well, both running the football, throwing the football.
There's no better throw I've seen from a rookie quarterback this year. Jaden runs left for McLaurin in the end zone!
Oh, that was fun to watch,
Yes, indeed.
especially if you're a Commanders fan. Coming out party for Jaden Daniels on Monday night with one of the best performances, Charles, by a rookie quarterback in NFL history.
Yeah, but Carissa, not just impressive because the man is a rookie, but it's because he won the Heisman Trophy. Only one person a year wins that award.
And when you're the Heisman Trophy winner, you're a
You're a high draft
pick.
and there's high expectations.
If you know, you know. Hit me with the Heisman. Hee hee.
You know. The Heisman Trophy is the most prestigious honor in college football. But just because you win one doesn't mean you succeed in the NFL.
What's my definition of success?
Professional football is a different beast.
Something no one else can.
Smarter, bigger, faster, stronger. A matter of fact that makes everything Jaden Daniels has done so far even more impressive. He entered the league as a potential savior for a struggling franchise, but still found himself a second choice to a Heisman winner.
Beginning of the Caleb Williams
He'll
era.
always be compared against. Quickly, though, he found his footing by channeling the skills of a past Heisman winner.
Jaden Daniels again!
And with the lights shining brightest against the fellow Bayou Heisman, Jaden took his game to a new level. Now, his journey continues against another fraternity member.
And the excitement's coming out. I think they gained confidence.
With his Heisman in the rearview mirror, Offensive Rookie of the Year might be next.
Wow, really cool piece, Charles, man. And just looking at Jaden Daniels, I mean, you don't know if he's a 10-year vet or a rookie. I mean, some of the throws that he made last week versus cover zero, and see cover zero means it's an all-out blitz.
Yeah.
7 more than we can block if we got a certain
Bring the
protection.
house.
But to sit there and know that this safety is coming right at him, identifying his matchup, shows his awareness on the field, his ability to find Terry McLaurin, which is one of his best receivers, and I probably would have threw it to him too. But to be able to identify the coverage, understand exactly what's going on around him, and put his team in a position. His movement in the pocket, his movement outside of the pocket, he just looks like he's so comfortable. His maturation process is just evident.
Yeah, and his teammate Jonathan Allen saying he's the answer, and the Commanders sure hope so. They've had 14 different quarterbacks over the last 8 years.
Just one thing, though. Please don't take so many hits. Just the big hits. Stay with
Exactly. Your fan base and your teammates want to see you advancing, but it is fun to watch. I don't want to leave here, though, before we mention a game that I know Julian's very excited about, and I want to get your thoughts in a second. But, of course, your hometown team, the Patriots, going up against the 49ers. So, Charles, what do you expect to see in this one, and are you hitting the panic button if you're a Niners fan?
Man, I think I'm hitting the panic button on the Niners, and not for the reason that I thought I would be hitting the panic button. You know, we're trying to figure out who Brock Purdy is as a quarterback, but Brock Purdy has been playing great football. Last week, 22 for 30, 292 yards, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers. But the side of the ball that we usually can lean on, the defense, they end up giving up 13 points in the fourth quarter. Like, that's Nick Bosa time. That's Fred Warner time when we think that 49ers defense is going to take over. And they have not been getting the job done. So if that side of the ball is not getting it done, then I'm starting to hit that panic button because I don't know. Jules, they're playing a tough team.
You get Debo back today, you get Kittle back today, so some huge pieces there. What do you expect to see in this game, Jules?
I expect the Niners to win, but if they mess around and let these Patriots stick in the game and they don't stop that run, Patriots can beat them. They got a great defense. The Niners need to go out and they need to jump on them quick. Let's establish our lead early so we can let our Bosa go after the quarterback when the team is in a must-pass situation.
They got up 14 points last week.
Yeah.
The defense failed them.
It failed them. You better not mess. We
saw Aaron Rodgers on Thursday night be able to get out of the pocket and have some mobility against the Patriots too. So if all of a sudden Brock Purdy starts doing that, you don't, you know.
Yeah, but Patriots are going to be pissed off.
But Brock Purdy's been doing all of that.
Yeah, no, you're putting it on the defense, and you're saying that the San Francisco needs to come out early. Yeah.
San Francisco got to jump on them early.
Must win.
Guess what we're doing? We're celebrating because it's easy to celebrate. Brought to you by Bud Light. Life on a new team has been good so far for Philadelphia's Saquon Barkley. He heads into Tampa today, leading the NFL in both rushing yards and rushing touchdowns this season. Might sit down with him and a look at some other matchups coming up next. Stay with us.
Your record label is taking off, but so is your sound engineer. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our advanced matching helps find talented candidates, so you can connect with them fast. Visit Indeed.com/hire. Every bite better with Pepsi.
Yo, can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can.
Can I kick it?
¿Qué?
Can I play?
Can I kick it? Can I kick it?
Can I try?
Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can.
Are they really going to spend all day streaming college football on DirecTV? Can you blame them? They've got the biggest rivalries.
And bowl games. Speaking of, Frank, run a slant to the bowl of chips. Bobby, button hook to the salsa.
What are you going to do, Coach Prime?
Don't question your coach, man.
Italian sausage, bacon, and pepperoni for only $8.99. That's the lowest price in 3 meat pizzas. Right, Professor Amon-Ra?
Meat plus meat plus meat equals...
The 3-meat treat. Order for $8.99 and get your game day delivered with Little Caesars.
Pizza.
It wasn't our turn. After we stepped in.
And the Eagles have not just been beaten. They have been taken apart. Let's go, baby! Let's go!
And I think we can accept that, knowing that the sun will rise tomorrow and there'll be another opportunity to attack it.
Breaking news, Saquon headed to Philadelphia.
They got their guy.
We need to do way more. I know how special this place is. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Well, as Hurts predicted, that sun did rise again. And with Saquon Barkley in tow, Philly's got an opportunity to be special. I sat down with the new Eagles running back this week for his take on what it all means.
Saquon Barkley moved on from the Big Apple and went to a division rival in the Eagles. I'm loving it.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
You're doing great. You look great.
Thank you.
You have an ease about you.
Yeah, obviously, fresh start. Super excited about that, and just focusing on, myself. Focus on enjoying the process, not really getting too focused on results. I'm really at a good spot.
Okay, so Saquon Barkley, the star running back for the Philadelphia Eagles, who through 3 weeks is leading the league in rushing. If I would have told you that in January, you would have said what?
It's kind of expected because of the work I put in, but now I would not focus on that. I'm on this big me versus me. You're competing with yourself and not getting too caught up in what's going on in the outside world, results. It's all about the process.
Me versus me.
Yeah, you versus you. You focus on that and you lock in on that. The results is going to take care of itself.
Saquon Barkley's the guy! He's going to go!
I know this is a new chapter of energy and joy for the game here, being with the Eagles, but when you look back at the time in New York, what's your biggest takeaway from that?
My biggest takeaway is I wouldn't be the person I am today without everything in New York. That's why I don't think I handled it the right way when I left.
Why?
I just didn't think it would be that big of a deal, to be completely honest.
Really? Why?
In my mind, it's simple. It's like, all right, this door closed, you got another opportunity, and you move on. But it wasn't perceived like that. I'm forever grateful for everything that's ever happened. New York is always going to hold a special place in my heart, but at the same time, it's like anything in life, you got to move on. I'm in this chapter, so I'm super focused on this chapter of my book and trying to, have an ending that I will love.
What does that ending look like?
That Lombardi. That's the only thing that matters. I know what we have here is special, and I know how talented we are and we're going to be. That's the mindset of what this team is and is going to continue to be, is just have each other back, that dog mentality, and no matter what, how we got to do it, just get the job done.
I so appreciate guys sitting down, during the week. You have so much preparation and to sit down out of their schedules and take time and do that. I appreciate his honesty about the departure in New York. We got some big injuries in this game. Trace, what do we got?
First off, that was fantastic. Great job with Saquon, Carissa. When you don't have Devontae Smith and you don't have A.J. Brown and you don't have Lane Johnson, that means that big free agent acquisition, Saquon Barkley, is going to have to step up even more. Real injury issues with the Eagles offense here. And yet Saquon, this is why they pay the big bucks.
Exactly. Last year, Charles, you talked a lot about drinking that green Kool-Aid. I haven't heard you mention anything about the green Kool-Aid this year.
Well, I'm taking it out of the refrigerator.
Okay.
I poured a glass, but I haven't drank any yet. And the reason why I haven't drank any yet is because when I hear a coach talking about, we're going to be who we are and do what we do, we're going to continue to be aggressive, and that's just who we are, that kind of scares me because things change in this league. Schrags just talked about all the injuries that they have on offense. Your team changes throughout the course of the season. Other teams change throughout the course of the season. They get better. So sometimes you have to adjust. And then Jalen Hurts, there was a pass that struck me last week where Tyrann Mathieu was sitting in cover 4. He never moved pre-snap or post-snap, and he still threw that in-breaking route to Devontae Smith. So he'll have to get better, and he'll have to stop turning the ball over, had another couple of turnovers. So they played well. They won the game, beat a good Saints team. But I'm not quite ready to drink the green Kool-Aid.
7 interceptions for Jalen, having to take care of the football. Who do you like in this one, Jules?
This game comes down to one thing and one thing only: mental toughness. Philly's dealing with a bunch of injuries. Tampa's dealing with the hurricane. It's the team that can block out all the noise and focus on what's the game at task. It reminds me of when we went out and played the Chiefs during COVID. We traveled on game day. We started slow. We didn't have the mental toughness. We got whooped. So this is the same kind of thing. Whatever team has the most mental toughness in this game is going to win.
Love that.
Also, I think if we win the battle in the trenches, the Bucs got 2 tackles that's not healthy right now. We got pushed last week. We know that was the biggest issue with the Philadelphia Eagles, getting some pass rush. If we can take advantage of that moment, then we win the game.
We all know what Todd Bowles did to Jalen Hurts in that wild card game last year. It was a blitz fest, so we'll look forward to this one today. But of course, as Schrager mentioned at the top of the show, it's about more than just football. We're so glad that football is even happening today in Tampa, and we want to send our best to all those affected by Hurricane Helene. This week, if you'd like to help, please go to redcross.org/NFL to make a donation. We appreciate you taking the time. That's redcross.org/NFL.
Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners.
Surgery. For prisoners. For prisoners. Every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access.
It's hard to believe, but it's true. Even the liberal media was shocked Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners and illegal aliens.
Every transgender inmate would have access.
Kamala's for they, them. President Trump is for you.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message. Dear unbreakable spirit, when the terrain is gnarly, you steady us. When obstacles are ahead, you lift us. When the turf is hostile, you inspire us. Own a legend. Toyota Trucks.
Get great lease offers on rugged Toyota trucks, including Tacoma, Tundra, and 4Runner. Shop online and get your new Toyota from your nearest Toyota dealer. Toyota. Let's go places.
Dave R asks, there are so many games streaming this season. Can Xfinity Internet handle it?
Great question, Dave. For full analysis, let's go to the telestrator.
At Xfinity, we know the game's only live once, and nothing's more frustrating than glitching or buffering.
That's why we built Xfinity Internet with super fast speeds and ultra low lag for non-stop action. Not again.
Can someone get that thing away from Testudo? Pesky turtle.
He's a turban.
That's my bad.
I'm John Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call Pound Law from your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan. Pound Law. That's all.
Hey, it's Zagolwicz here for DraftKings, getting you ready for the Sunday slate of games.
The Panthers picked up their first win in Week 3, but now the Bengals come into town hungry for theirs. It's a good spot for Cincy, having won 9 of their last 10 games against NFC opponents.
DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the app and use the promo code when you sign up.
I want to brag, but my parlay hit last week. So here's this one. Week 4, I've got Saquon Barkley, anytime TD, DK Metcalf, and Rashee Rice going 70-plus receiving yards. Mike, what do you think about that?
Rashee Rice got busy last week. I expect him and Andy to duplicate that again.
All right. Don't forget, thank you, DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns this season. New customers, guys, bet $5 and you get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the app, use the promo code KICKOFF, and in the words of Kyle, the crown is yours. Inside Good Morning Football joke. Hey, Mike, top of the leaderboard. That's no joke. Look at you. My goodness. Our picks right here. I am going with the Rams. Mike, you got the Falcons.
Skull! Bengals. Skull! What is that thing? Skull!
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Thank you for watching Fox on Sunday. Starts right now. Bye. I object.
Give me 2 points.
I've been here before. A place to gather myself, to picture every move, every detail. Hear the crowd before they cheer. There's refuge in silence, but sound is power. Emotion in the palm of my hand. The ability to sharpen your mind, brighten your spirit, strengthen your heart. This feeling is only temporary. Turn it on, turn it up. Experience Fox NFL Sunday next.
All right, let's get this party started, because in less than an hour, Philly revisits the site of last year's playoff loss, Tampa. But this time, they bring the league's leading rusher as a new dance partner. Lady Bears rookie Caleb Williams is finding his groove. Coming off his first 300-yard game as a pro, he now hosts those resilient Rams. Hey, has the music stopped for Joe Burrow and the Bengals? They're still looking for their first win of the season after coming into the year as one of the top contenders in the AFC. Later, some of you will see the Patriots and Niners from the dock of the bay. Others, you'll get the breakout rookie Jaden Daniels and the Commanders going against Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. We've got everything you need for a coast-to-coast road trip here in Week 4. So buckle up and set the GPS for Fox NFL Sunday, presented by GMC and the game-changing all-electric Hummer EV. Come on in and stay a while, folks. I'm Kurt Menefee. So glad to spend another football Sunday together. Thanks to Diplo for kicking us off this week. Now, you know, usually celebs, when they do that, they want to promote TV shows or movies. Diplo, though, has an actual 5K run club that he just wants you to join. Find out about upcoming events online. These guys, I'm sure, would do a 5K.
You'd run a 5K?
In how long?
Just you could run it.
We walk, run in between? Is that the whole thing we're doing? You know the guys, Terry, Howie, Mike, Gronk.
Oh, let's do it. Let's run Diplo's 5K.
I know a few guys
do it, Terry.
Scott, they could make it.
Could you pick Diplo out of a
I have no idea who that is.
No, I know. He was just on the air like
just on the air
30 seconds ago.
He's great.
Incredible.
Producer.
Yeah.
Well, I'll bring you up to date.
My people don't know who he is, okay?
He is big.
Diplo's the man.
He is the man. He is huge. All right, let's talk about football and the man. Usually, when it comes to football, it's the quarterback. And if the NFL were a game show, all the quarterbacks would take home the grand prize. The question is, should they?
It's time for everyone's favorite game show. Is the price right? Today, we're finding out if spending a lot of money on a QB makes any sense. Let's meet our quarterbacks. First, fresh off a new contract from Dallas, Texas, it's Dak Prescott. Next, we've got Jacksonville quarterback Trevor Lawrence. And finally, all the way from Cincinnati, Joe Burrow. A grand total of $170 million just this year. And how many wins does that add up to? Oh, only 2. Both by Dak. And in that last one on Thursday, another high-paid guy couldn't even muster a single TD. So I have to ask, when it comes to paying quarterbacks mega contracts, is the price wrong?
Guys, when you look at the numbers, as he said, 2 wins out of 10 starts for the top 3 highest paid quarterbacks. Just throw it out here. Is the system set up for failure if you pay your quarterback now?
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, and America's going to agree with me on this. I'm going to pay you a lot of money if you produce for me. I'm going to pay you a lot of money if the production gets me into the playoffs every year. I'm going to pay you a whole lot of money if you'll win me the Super Bowl, Mahomes. But if you're Prescott and these other guys, and you're making that kind of money, I'm going to tell you, as the owner of a football team, that is a hard pill for me to swallow. I don't want to do it. It makes me sick in my stomach to know that I would have to do it.
Well, I think you better hope that if you're going to go in that direction.
I did. I just did.
In order to have another option, it's a Geno Smith, it's a Sam Darnold, it's a Justin Fields. All those guys 3-0 right now. Or you hit with a Brock Purdy late in the draft. It's timing, it's market value, it's supply and demand. And Deshaun Watson blew the market value up. Now it's just distorted. If you're the next guy up, you have to get exactly what or close to the highest paid quarterback gets.
You know, I think it's a product of just what the system has become. And Mahomes, you look at Mahomes, he's not even listed in the top 3 guys. But this is the guys winning Super Bowls every year. So in a lot of ways, these guys are just right place, right time, and getting these huge numbers. And you're great or you do well enough, but you don't get over the hump. You're not paying somebody to be good enough or just enough. You're paying them to win Super Bowls. And the only guy, or there are a few guys who've led their teams there, I think Jalen Hurts has led his team, Purdy, all these guys who are pretty much on their rookie deals are the guys who seem to be the leaders of this outside of Mahomes. So if I'm an owner, I'm looking in that direction. I'm not overpaying a guy who's just going to get me wins, to get my fans excited, get me excited at the end of the day. We're not going to win anything.
It's my turn to get
it's more than just about the quarterback. You could be the greatest quarterback in the league, but if you don't have a team around you, you're not going to win anything. And what do you need to have a great team? You need money under the cap.
You got to draft
some of these guys are soaking up so much money, they'll never win anything because if the money's going to go to one specific position.
Brock, you kind of saw that in New England. I mean, Tom Brady never was the highest paid quarterback, but that allowed the team to get and win Super Bowls.
Yes, I did. And it seems like life is terrible without a quarterback. And me, I never been in that situation. Life was always great for me because of Tom Brady being my quarterback. And he was a guy that left millions and millions of dollars on the table. And he was an example to the other teammates. It trickled down to myself. Hey, yes, we want to get paid, but we don't got to be the highest paid guy. Look at Tom. He's not the highest paid guy. And I feel like that formula worked for him. It worked for the New England Patriots. And look, he turned out to be the greatest quarterback of all time and has 7 championships. But because of it, that's part of the reason.
And a lot of the money that he passed up by winning 7 championships, he'll make up because he won 7 championships. But I think the mentality is different. The mentality now is get what I can get while I can get it because it's about me. And not saying that that's the wrong mentality, but it's very rare and it's very hard to find a guy who's going to say, I'm willing to give up millions of dollars that I can have for my future.
What's
for winning
the
for
difference in
that.
your life when you have 200 or 240?
There is no difference, Howie.
Well,
I would never know, man. Ask Terry.
I'd like to find out what the difference is. I'd like to be in that position. All right. Hey, talk about quarterbacks. We bring in Jake Laser for the first time to talk about the quarterback for the Los Angeles Chargers, Justin Herbert. He got paid, but he also injured his ankle early in the season, re-injured it again last week. Will we see him today?
Well, sir, here's the deal. Last week, didn't practice. This week, practiced. Despite aggravating that injury, this week he says, I feel much better than I did a week ago. They still are going to have him work out in pregame warm-ups, but they have a lot more confidence in him starting today. They expect him to start. Barring something crazy happening, he'll go.
All right, let's talk about that Bears offense, because they haven't met expectations this season. What are you hearing out of Chicago?
So how about this? I talked to Mercedes Lewis last night. Mercedes said he, Cole Kmet, and their quarterback, Caleb Williams, all went and had a private meeting. Well, it's not private anymore, with Caleb Williams. And said, hey, Coach, we're not a Pop Warner team. Like, you got to coach us up, coach me up, even though I'm in year 19, coach up Caleb, even though he's a rookie. You got to get more aggressive in coaching us together, and he does think there's going to be a difference.
All right, they play the Rams today in less than an hour. The Rams have their own issues on offense, particularly with injuries. Will we see either of their stud receivers back soon?
Yeah, everybody knows that Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua are hurt, but they don't know what's the timeline, and I'm here to tell it to you. Number one, Cooper Kupp with that high ankle sprain, he's not going to play today, not going to play next week, hoping maybe an outside chance, but maybe a shot of a couple weeks from now. But Puka, he injured that PCL. He's not going to be back probably to about week 8, something along those lines. So he's out for a while.
All right, hopefully they can hang around until he gets back. Thanks, Jay. We're just getting started. Stick around.
Coming up, class is in session. Our guys give their takes on the stars to be in the rookie QB class. Then, has the fire gone out in Cincy? After an 0-3 start, we examine if their playoff hopes are up in smoke. Tom is back in Tampa. Brady joins us live before the Bucs host the Eagles. And speaking of Philly, Carissa Thompson chops it up with Saquon Barkley about how he's fitting in with his new team. All that and more on Fox NFL Sunday.
World, the time has come to push the button. World, the time has come to push the button. World, the time has come to push the button.
Get this low mileage lease on this 2024 GMC Hummer EV pickup for around $849 per month. We are professional grade GMC.
Big balls, man.
This is Belichick. Talk to me.
Double B.
Tyrese.
What's good with these whiteouts?
He's gonna get in the end zone, no doubt about that.
My man.
William, answer the phone.
Billy B, my man.
Cam.
How's QB1 looking?
It's looking more like QB3. Bryson, again?
Coach, it's urgent.
Will he score a touchdown? Yeah. That was easy. Still got it. You make the call on Underdog.
We're not going to win a game all season. Yeah, but at least we're not going to lose a tailgate all season.
How do you lose a tailgate?
You don't?
Yes, that energy, undefeated. We literally can't lose. To an undefeated season.
Undefeated season.
Italian sausage, bacon, and pepperoni for only $8.99. That's the lowest price in 3 meat pizzas. Right, Professor Amon-Ra?
Meat plus meat plus meat equals...
The 3-meat treat. Order for $8.99 and get your game day delivered with Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Want the effects of Viagra, but faster? Meet Rose Sparks. They contain sildenafil and tadalafil, but Sparks dissolve under the tongue. Dissolvables work faster than old school pills. See if Sparks are right for you at ro.co/sparks.
5-minute warning for Tyler.
Sounds good.
Yo, Central 105. All right, sounds good.
Yo, Don, sound checking 5. Man, sounds good.
Lisa, you're on in 5. Cool. Sounds good.
Think Miami can make a deep run this year? Well, they have Tariq Hill, and...
My sources say yes, and my sources are wrong as often as Dolphins sleep. Never. Wow.
Be a football know-it-all with NFL Plus Premium.
Gronk took the NFL by storm and became one of the best tight ends in NFL history. Yo soy fiesta. Now in retirement, he may only work 50% of the season, but when he's on screen, he's always going to give 100%.
How he put in the work.
There's no doubt about it. Our guy Gronk loves live TV even when he doesn't know it's not live TV. Even more so when he was a rookie with us last year. Tell us the story, Jay.
All right, guys, one more segment to come. Don't forget what we're doing.
Here's the deal. We decided to play a little joke on our buddy Gronk. He thought we were going live with an extra segment. Everybody at Fox knows this is not real, except for Gronk. And the premise was I was going to break news that the Cowboys were activating this great Pro Bowl tight end who doesn't exist. And Gronk has to go on what he thinks is live TV to talk about this tight end.
All right, fellas, 10 seconds back. Straight, who do you want to talk about here?
Dallas game, let's talk about Russo.
Back in 5, 4, 3,
That's what I was talking about.
2, 1. All right, we're on the air.
All right, later today, it's America's game of the week, and it's one you don't want to miss. The Dallas Cowboys go for their 6th win in a row, and right now they take on the Buffalo Bills team. That I guess, Jay, there's some breaking news.
I just got a phone with Mike McCarthy, and you guys know how big of a weapon Rich Russo is for that team, right? As a tight end,
just activated him, right?
They just activated him. They don't know if he's going to be able to play today. They think he's good to go. Not only today, but they are going to put him heavily into that game plan. Expect a lot of Rich Russo.
That's big because Russo is a complete game changer. He takes so much pressure off Dak, takes so much pressure off the run game. Great blocker, great receiver, red zone threat.
Now you can't listen. I thought it was a stretch, though. They were talking about Tony Gonzalez. They talking about Gronk. I don't think he's Gronk.
Gronk, where do you list Russo as, like, among the tight ends playing today, at least?
You know, he's been out for a little bit, so he might be a little rusty coming back, but I think they're going to give him the opportunities, that's for sure. But also they got Ferguson as well. They're going to be a 1-2 combo.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Ferguson has been the guy because Russo's been hurt. You got to admit, with Russo coming back, it just changes their offense.
Yeah, but Ferguson has been showing that he's the guy right now. They're going to still feed Ferguson.
He's the only guy in the league that has 2 fingers missing on his right hand. That's why he's been out, and he's back now.
So is that going to affect him when he's catching a pass?
I don't know. You tell me. You're still the guy.
I still have all 5 of my fingers.
But you know what? You're the tight end.
10.
All 10 of my fingers. All 5 on each hand, all right? All 5 on each hand, okay?
All right, this is a joke. Rich Russo does not play for the Dallas Cowboys.
I was wondering for you. Is that live? I was wondering, like, in my mind, like, I was going to say, right when it was done, I was going to say, guys, I never heard of Rich Russo. Never heard of him in my life. You guys had my head spinning, that's for sure. But I was so excited to finally see this video this year when we watched it at the Fox Seminar this summer, and the video is actually better than expected. And I learned 2 things from it: that I am a funny guy. Number 2 is that I am always ready. Okay. I am always ready. I audible that right
You call that
right to
ready?
Ferguson. Hey, he's a great tight end. I'm listening to Rich Russo.
Here's how. Hey, Rich Russo. Here's how ready he is. Prior to running this, just the clip we just run, he said, "What's this guy's name?" Tony Russo.
Hey, here's the other thing you learned, that you have 10 fingers.
Yeah.
Jay, you're a good storyteller.
Of course, that was one of the highlights from Gronk's rookie year on the show. We'll get him maybe later on here as a sophomore. But when we come back, we'll take a closer look at the top 3 rookie picks from this year. And later, Carissa Thompson chats with Saquon Barkley.
Whenever a Saquon Barkley interview opportunity comes about, we usually send Michael Strahan, right? It's just a foregone conclusion. He's going to do the interview. They wouldn't let him in this building, so they sent me.
Right.
That's how it works.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Join us this Saturday and Sunday. Jersey Mike's is donating 20% of sales to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation.
Your shipping manager left to find themselves, leaving you lost. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Sponsored jobs on Indeed are 2.5 times faster to first hire. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
October's different. NLDS begins on Fox and FS1.
All law firms are not the same. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
For years, I was very sick with an immune deficiency. So when we wanted a child, IVF was the only way. Now anti-abortion extremists are trying to ban IVF and elect Ryan McKenzie. McKenzie voted to ban abortion, no exceptions for rape or incest. In Congress, McKenzie would join supporters of a national ban on abortion and IVF. Ryan McKenzie, that's extreme and just wrong. Stop Ryan McKenzie.
Pro-choice majority 2024 is responsible for the content of this ad.
Are you ready to rule the realm with a new Game of Thrones scratch-off from the Pennsylvania Lottery? You can. This epic game gives you the chance to win up to $500,000 instantly, or a trip to Napa Valley to play the Seven Kingdoms experience, where you could win your share of up to $7 million in cash prizes. So treat yourself like royalty and go to your local Pennsylvania Lottery retailer to pick up your Game of Thrones scratch-off today and let your reign begin.
Meet Walt. Walt likes to know how things work. So, with his new smart meter from Atlantic City Electric, he went to work unlocking all its cool energy and money-saving tools, like weekly and monthly energy use reports and high usage alerts. And it was easy to turn them on, right? Smart move, Walt. Smart move indeed. Turn on the power of your new smart meter today.
I started to get my life back when I reached out for help. I made the call because my addiction became too much. I want to feel like myself again.
The call was my first step towards getting better for myself and my family. Being with my daughter is everything, so I reached out. Every moment in recovery makes me stronger.
Once I reached out and learned about medication that can support my recovery, I was able to do more with my life. And now I know that there are better days ahead.
ReachNJ is here for you 24/7, 844-REACH-NJ.
It's the best college quarterback class I've ever seen in my life.
With the first pick, Chicago Bears select Caleb Williams. With the second pick, with the third pick, Drake May.
These the franchises need those young quarterbacks to take a big step.
The scheme is a disaster. The 2024 NFL Draft is now underway.
Well, for a little TV magic, we will transport ourselves back in time to the NFL Draft. And for the fourth time in draft history, the top three picks were all quarterbacks. Early results, mixed so far. We'll see them all on Fox today, however. So why don't we start with the guy who was the third pick. He went to your Patriots, third round, Drake May. He's the only one that's not starting, although he got a little mop-up duty last week. Is that the right decision, though?
Yes, it's definitely the right decision, what the New England Patriots are doing with Drake May. I mean, if you look at Jacoby Brissett out there, he's a veteran, and he's getting absolutely demolished, every game. He's been knocked down 23 times. I'm talking Howie.
He's brutal.
Brutal knockdowns. It looks like sometimes
offensive line's an issue.
And he's struggling big time. So you want Drake May to develop, understand what's going on with the game. That's facing some tough defenses coming up. So I would say start him week 12 when the schedule eases up a little bit.
All right, Caleb Williams, #1 overall pick, went to Chicago. He's statistically gotten better every week. Jay mentioned they talked to the offensive coordinator this week. What do you think of Williams so far?
I don't care about that talk to the coordinator. I think Caleb Williams is everything, folks, that we thought he was. This kid He's the real deal. Now, he's with a football team that's trying to change their identity. Chicago's always been a running team. With Herbert at running back for the last 2 years, they've had over 12 yards run. Their offensive line built for running. If you don't run, you'll get a kid killed. This kid is throwing over 40 passes a game. For a rookie, that's too much. Run the football, which is your identity. Don't change it. And then this young man can do play action off of that. You go to last week's game, one possession, you're down one possession. All you got to do is score here. You're on the 1 yard line, and you do a fancy sweep around the left side, and you give it to Swift, and he loses what? Not 1 yard, Mike, 12 yards. Woo! Get back to running is what you do. Yeah, this kid Williams, he's excellent.
Help the kid out. All right, Washington to Jaden Daniels, #2 overall. Talk about running the football. Yep. Mike, when you take a look at him, he's just exciting to watch.
Yeah, he's the kicker's best friend because you can save your leg with this guy. But he's done an incredible job. He picked up pretty much where he left off in college, went to a Washington team that I think had more talent than people gave him credit for, and he's fit right in. Cliff Kingsbury comes over as an OC, has completely knocked it out of the park with this kid. And, it's hard to, when you bringing a young guy, it's hard for these guys. Things move fast. Things move quick. For some reason, he's been able to process the game, slow the game down. Last week, he had more touchdowns than incompletion. 3 touchdowns, 2 incompletions. Who does that as a rookie in this league? So this is a very talented guy, special talent. But, you know, some people are going to say, oh, he should have been the first pick. And Caleb Williams shouldn't have been. They're always going to have that debate, but I do think that both of these guys, to our benefit, will both be incredible quarterbacks in this league.
Where you go, it's Kingsbury as the coordinator. It's, you know, I think the organization is stable right now. He had 55 starts in college. The big knock on him, or the question was, would he hold up? He was 160 pounds as a freshman at Arizona State. He goes to LSU, he wins the Heisman Trophy. He's poised, he's calm, the game is slowed down. That throw he made to McLaurin at the end of the game was amazing, with a free blitzer about to light him up. He's a great player.
Why are you bringing up a freshman year?
But not only that,
his weight.
Because he's not much bigger right now.
You're trying to 160 pounds is like your right butt cheek. Like
that's my leg.
Hey, here's something that nobody knows about Jaden Daniels with Washington. Is they actually had Jaden ahead of Caleb.
How do you know?
How do you know? That's what I do for a living. That's what the insider does, bro.
All right.
Dan Quinn, he doesn't BS anybody. It's exactly right. No, they're not saying it just now. They have him as the #1 guy on their board. Say no matter what happens, that's the guy. So when people started trying call to trade, they're like, oh no, we wouldn't even entertain it. And they got locked in him all the way back in March. A month before the draft.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I do for a living, Gronk. That's what I do.
And remember, we're making snap judgments 3 games into a career. We'll see how this plays out long term. If you're sitting at home, every week, we give you a chance to win free money on the Fox Sports app with Fox Super 6, brought to you by DraftKings. One of today's questions is, which team will score the most points? If it's the Rams, Kyron Williams will probably play a big role. Alvin Kamara is tied with Williams for the league lead in touchdowns. Chris Godwin has a touchdown in every game so far for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as they get ready to take on Philadelphia today. And while Jamar scored twice on Monday, the Bengals are still chasing their first win of the season. And they'll have to do it against the quarterback who owns a lot of Bengals records, now trying to turn things around down in Carolina.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Verizon. The NFL, powered by Verizon 5G.
You watching my special, aren't you?
No, I just got this great NFL offer. Guaranteed, all up front. And this one's going to be hard to pass up.
Breaking news. LeBron James has a guaranteed NFL offer. He says it's, quote, going to be hard to pass up.
Seriously? Ooh, somebody got to call a plumber, because you got a leak.
With DraftKings, new customers turn $5 into $200 instantly in bonus bets. The crown is yours.
What do we want more of? More laughs, more hangouts. Yeah, more of all this stuff. But getting older also means more risk of serious flu, COVID-19, and RSV. Vaccines lower your risk, so you can keep doing more. And Doug.
And if we win, we get to tell you how Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Isn't that what you just did?
Service!
Stand back, I'm gonna show ya how Doug and Lee will roll ya. You know you gotta live it if you wanna win.
Time out.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I joined the IBEW to have a better future. The future we all want. Better pay, better benefits, but what I found was so much more. It feels good to be a part of such an amazing industry. It's literally a direct ticket to middle class. Now I'm building the life I always wanted for me and my family. At IBEW, I'm powering a brighter future.
No flex, zone. No flex, zone. They know better. They know better.
Wanna go?
Won't flex.
Wakey, wakey, it's Sunday morning football. Watch live as Justin Jefferson leads the Vikings against Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. Jets Vikings, Sunday, October 6th at 9:30 Eastern, only on NFL Network.
Let's get out there.
Look at us.
or short lifeguards.
Try not to screw anything up.
It's easier to break off an engagement than get a divorce. Damn my chance. I love it.
I thought you said this job was easy.
Rescue Heist Surf, all new tomorrow at 9 on Fox.
All right, we're just about 30 minutes from our early game kickoffs here on Fox, so why don't we start our screen pass? The Rams head to Chicago, where the Bears have a top 10 defense in yards and points allowed. Howie, will that unit be too much for the depleted Rams?
Well, that's what they said last week when they were down heavily unfavored versus San Francisco 49ers. Sean McVay gives them a chance to win.
All right, the Falcons, well, they head to New Orleans for their first division game. Michael, what do you make of Kirk Cousins' tenure in Atlanta so far?
Well, you know, they thought, and I did too, that he's going to unlock the potential that you have in London, Pitts, and Robinson, but they're only averaging 16 points per game with Cousins as quarterback. Zach Robinson and Kirk need to get together and make this thing get better because it's not so good so far.
All right, meanwhile, the Eagles head down to Tampa without their top receivers. Gronk, Dallas Goedert put up 170 yards last week at the tight end spot. Another big day for him?
Yes, Dallas Goedert's success will continue and end the streak of Tampa not giving up a touchdown pass this year. But hey, the Bucs will still win this game.
All right, meanwhile in Carolina, it's Andy Dalton facing his former team, the Bengals. TB, I don't think anyone would have predicted his performance last week. Over 300 yards. Will he sustain it?
Well, that's a question everybody's asking right now. Down in Carolina, Andy Dalton's be facing his former team, the Bengals. And I don't think anyone predicted what he did last week, 300 yards and 3 touchdown passes. The first to do that. I'm doing Carolina. That's what I'm saying.
Sound like Roscoe P. Coltrane.
Well, he sustained it. Yes, he will, people.
All right, hey, look, if I told you in August one of those teams would be winless after week 3, I doubt a lot of people would have said it would be Cincinnati. Another loss today, and what was expected to be a promising season might just go up in smoke.
You had to believe.
The Cincinnati Bengals are headed to Super Bowl 56.
The way he lit a city on fire, that the best was yet to come. That a celebration wasn't a matter of if, but when.
They got a chip on their shoulder. I think they'll be the best team in the league this year.
See, what happens when you raise the standard is you slowly start to expect the world. And when you expect the world, you never see the fall coming.
0-3. Nobody saw that coming.
Thought their team could win a Super Bowl. February losing.
Right now, a championship celebration may be out of sight. But with this team and all their talent, don't for a second think it's out of mind. Because all they need is one little spark.
All they need is a win. And you know, TB, y'all play golf, right? You ever play and you're down a hole and you're like, okay, next one. Then you're down 2, oh, next one. Down 3, oh, we got plenty of time to go. Next thing you know, you're at the 18th hole and you realize it's over. I think that's going on with Cincinnati. You need to win now. The thing is, no team has ever, only 6 teams have made the playoffs after starting 0-3. The Bengals started 0-3, have never made the playoffs after that. This is a team that time is of the essence. These guys need to come together and play well. We know Joe Burrow had the injury. We know T. Higgins had the hamstring. Jamar Chase held out of training camp for a new contract that he didn't get. So all those things aside, these guys need to find the way to gel, get it together, because it's going to be too late if they don't get this win today.
You ever cheated in golf?
Never.
Never.
No, if you cheat in golf, it tells a lot about you as a person outside of the golf course.
All right, that's one of our 4 early games as we get back to football. Another one going on, the Rams at Chicago, Grunt.
Yes, the Rams have their star players out, Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, but they can rely on relentless Kyrie Williams in the pass game and run game, and also they got a deep threat guy that can make some big plays in Tutu Atwell. And if they take that momentum that they gained last week when they beat the San Francisco 49ers and upset of them and scored on the final 4 drives, they will beat the Chicago Bears and determine a 2-2 record, get back to 500, and beat on the Bears that have a struggling offense.
Yeah, Kyron Williams has been a stud for them. Alvin Kamara's been a stud for New Orleans, but they lost last week.
Yep.
And now they face Atlanta, and Atlanta's favored in this game, actually.
You know, I'm a little puzzled about this Kirk Cousins, the quarterback. You know, he left Minnesota because he wasn't happy, so I was told, because they told him they're going to draft a quarterback to be, the heir apparent. And so he doesn't get happy there. So he goes to Atlanta. What do they do in Atlanta, Howie, Michael? They draft a quarterback out of Washington in the first round. He gets a $100 million guarantee. So here's what you got for your money so far, Atlanta. You got a horrible team on time of possession, one of the worst in the league. A horrible team on converting third down. Horrible, almost at the bottom of the pack. And then you got a team that's only averaging, ready, 16 points a game. Yep. That's what you got with your quarterback, Kirk Cousins. $100 million guaranteed in Atlanta today, and he doesn't handle pressure where, I'm telling you right now, the Saints are coming after him. Saints and a big win today.
Speaking of coming after you, Minnesota unbeaten, that defense leading the way. They take on the Green Bay Packers, who get Jordan Love back today, and Jordan Love actually showed up at the stadium wearing a Brett Favre jersey. Of course, Favre announcing this week that he is suffering from Parkinson's disease, so we wish him the best. Howie, what do you think of this game?
Jordan Love back. The question is, where is he physically and what's his mobility like? And I think that will be tested right off the bat versus Brian Flores' defense. 16 to 19 blitzes a game. I think Green Bay found out a lot about themselves over the last two games. I think the thought process was, we'll rest Jordan Love, get him back when he's healthy. Malik Willis steps in. Maybe we win one of two. They found out Malik Willis is a player. 2, they can run the football. And 3, they have great defense. I think if Jordan Love can hold up, and he saw this defense last year. First game struggled a bit. Second game, 3 TDs and 1 rushing TD, 0 interceptions. So it's not new for him like it was for Brock Purdy.
Our big game at the top of the hour, Philadelphia at Tampa Bay. Kevin Burkhardt, Tom Brady calling that one. Of course, Brady spent 3 of his 23 seasons in Tampa with the Buccaneers, and in his short time there, he turned the franchise around. Brady broke the single-season franchise records for both passing yards and touchdowns. His Bucs became the first team ever to win a Super Bowl in his home stadium. And, of course, he's the game's MVP. But now he joins us live, getting ready to call the game. Hey, Tom, how are you?
Hey.
Good to see you.
What to say, Tom? Yo, what's up, fellas?
Yo.
What's happening?
Tom, how you doing, buddy? It's Gronk, your favorite target, once again. What's up, man? Hey, first off,
I tell you, Rob,
I just want to say thank you for choosing Tampa Bay and free agency and bringing me down with you. What was really cool and special about that was my mom lived 2 hours away and she attended every single home game and she got to watch you and I work our magic. So a lot of great memories we had in that stadium. So what was it like being back in there today, Tom?
yeah, it's been amazing when I pulled into the stadium this morning. There's so many great memories, and I got to go down on the field and see a lot of friends. But the success came here when you were here, Robbie G. Now you're in LA. I'm in Tampa. You're not here, but I still think we got a good football game here today. It's going to be a tough, hard-fought game. These teams are both in big-time need of a win.
Teammates for life, baby.
Yep. And Tom, straight in here.
Always.
Hey, big loss to Denver last night for Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield sacked 7 times. After the game, he said, hey, some of those sacks were my fault. Was he trying to be a good teammate and take the blame for what the offensive line didn't do? Or, what was that? Or at the quarterback, did you ever just take the blame for your line, or did you throw them under the bus? What was your move?
He threw me under the bus.
I never threw anybody. I never threw anybody under the bus. I think Baker's done a great job. Look, 7 sacks last week. That's hard to win games when you're doing that. He definitely held onto the ball a few times last week. He didn't need to. But I would say one thing that he's done a great job of this season is making plays when the ball's in his hand and nobody's open. So it kind of comes, you can't have one without the other. You still got to make good decisions back there. If you feel like they're getting a lot of heat on you, you got to speed up your process. But this defensive front, they're going to put a lot of heat on Baker today. I'm interested to see how he responds.
Hey, Thomas, Howie, Jalen Hurts has struggled versus Tampa Bay. Todd Bowles brings a lot of pressure. Today he plays without his number 1 and 2 wide receiver, his all-pro right tackle out. What's his mindset going into this game?
It's really tough. When I didn't have Gronk, when I didn't have Edelman, when I didn't have Moss or Welker, things are just different. There's nobody to equally replace A.J. Brown or Smith. To me, it's going to be a grimy game. You got to pound it with Saquon, which is really what they've done this year. But I think the challenge is the heat. It's really hot today. It's very humid. These guys are going to have to go the distance from the Northeast. And all those times where I played in New England and would come to Florida to play, man, it's really tough. So it's kind of a battle of attrition. You know, one of these teams is going to handle it better than the other. We're going to see who it is.
Hey, before we let you go, I don't know if you guys have heard this one. Go back to March of 1983. A lot of newspapers all around the country, including the New York Times, started to report that a guy named Thomas Brady had undergone successful surgery. No, not that Tom Brady. It was actually our own Terry Bradshaw, who was a Steeler. He had checked himself into the hospital under that alias, Tom Brady. True story.
Yeah.
True story. If you're wondering, the real Tom Brady was only 5 years old back in the time. Where'd you come up with the name Tom Brady?
When I checked in, they said, we're not going to check you in under your name, you'll get hassled. What do you want to go under? I said, well, put me under Thomas Brady. That's how.
Wow.
Little did we know, huh, Tom?
Sure. I'm sorry, I didn't know about that news. I was the only one
The
not
original
born yet.
TV.
Go ahead, Tom.
The original TV is still that way. I love that.
Well, thank you so much. Have a great call. We'll see you at the top of the hour with the Eagles at the Buccaneers.
Kind of scary.
You hear that?
That
He
is
called me
scary.
the original TV.
Nostradamus.
So you think you're Nostradamus?
Who?
All right, you know, that's a big game. It is taking place in Tampa, and if you follow the news this week, you know that Tampa is just one of the many cities devastated by Hurricane Helene. Families affected by the hurricane urgently need your support. You can help the American Red Cross provide meals and shelter to these families. Just donate to Hurricane Helene relief efforts and by going to redcross.org/NFL. All right, when we come back, we'll get back to the game of football. Carissa Thompson will catch up with Philly's newest star on his fresh start with the Philadelphia Eagles. You know him, you love him, Saquon Barkley. And as we wind down towards the kickoff, Saquon and the Eagles getting ready to survive that heat.
Why am I so hungry? Because you're watching football. The whole game is basically an elaborate scheme to make you buy more food.
What are you talking about?
Dude, think about it. Turnovers, pancake blocks. So I just scored. Feed me more. Refrigerator Perry was not his real name.
I don't think football's trying to sell you food.
Oh, really? And what are you eating, Jerry?
Rice.
Jerry's eating rice.
Game day deals only on Uber Eats. 6 pieces of chicken, 4 sides, and biscuits. That's a big deal.
Now this is the type of deal Dad loves.
Oh, this for $20?
I tried to make it 21.
Legendary. Get your own big deal for $20. Coach Prime and KFC, we back, baby.
This is not just a game of trivia. This is the floor.
Wednesdays on Fox.
Hold on. New Bet365 customers get how much? That can't be right. It's true. Join Bet365 today and get $200 in bonus bets plus 50 spins when you bet $5. You could spend them on bets like the spread, run line, totals, and player props. Well, there you have it. Bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets plus 50 spins. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
The Honda Civic is designed to move you. In fact, Car and Driver has called the Civic more fun to drive than top competitors. Because in their performance testing, the Civic came out ahead. With more power and sharper handling than its rivals. The Honda Civic, built for all kinds of fun. Get a great deal on the Civic. Contact your Honda dealer today or shop online.
Yeah, we are not going to be able to get that done for you today.
Are you seeing red flags with your bank?
You know you're my #1 priority, Brad.
It's Brian.
Like unnecessary roughness? As the official bank of the Philadelphia Eagles, First Trust is contractually obligated to talk in football metaphors. We're like a brotherly shove for your bottom line.
Brian. Yeah, it's Julie from First Trust. Are you ready to kick things off?
And you can literally sign us today. First Trust Bank, the official bank of the Philadelphia Eagles.
A lawyer who was a more senior lawyer and well-respected lawyer in the city said to me at one point, I don't understand you. You could cut off both your arms and both your legs and you'll still fight. And I said, absolutely.
That's you.
I was born to fight.
Think about the Scott case. How many times did you try that one?
Tried the case 3 times before we finally recovered. Absolutely.
And we ultimately ended up, recovering significantly for a significantly injured child.
And that little girl needed that.
Did you make a bold claim during the NFL offseason and now it's blowing up in your face? Well, call me, attorney Huddleston Turfdo, and I will defend your stupid statements. Respectfully. When my client, Skull Train 482, posted on social media, we have to start Sam Darnold, oh boy, he actually meant it like this. We have to start Sam Darnold? Oh boy! Didn't you? When my client said the Steelers wouldn't win a game with Justin Fields, he meant they would win 3 games with Justin Fields, and he was right! When my client said that Deshaun Watson would be MVP, what he really meant was...
I think it could still happen.
Your Honor, we want to plead insanity.
Nice.
I'll defend anyone, unless you're one of those people that likes the dynamic hiccup. Then you're on your own.
I tell you, Giants fans may want to sue their front office for allowing Saquon Barkley to just walk out the door and head down the turnpike to the rival Eagles, no less. Hey, Carissa Thompson, the hard knocks just keep on coming for them the way things have started off in Philly for Saquon.
Kerr, did you write that joke yourself?
I did, yes.
I knew it. Well done. But you are right. The NFL's rushing leader at Saquon Barkley, he's off to a hot start. He's in his 7th season, and when he signed with the Eagles this past offseason, it sent shockwaves through the NFL. And we all couldn't wait to see if a healthy Saquon Barkley would soar behind that Eagles offensive line. And it's safe to say he's flying.
Giant star running back Saquon Barkley is claiming to sign with the Eagles.
So here you go. Saquon Barkley, the star running back, grew up in the Bronx. You moved to Eastern Pennsylvania, proudly to Penn State. Then you get drafted by the Giants, and now you're a Philadelphia Eagle. The East Coast has been good to you.
The East Coast, Tri-State, has been great to me. It's who I am.
He breaks free. He's going to go. Touchdown.
When I moved to Pennsylvania, I used to go back to New York to visit my family. We used to always pass the stadium, and I used to always be like, I want to play in that stadium. And now I'm back in Pennsylvania, it definitely was the right move. It's funny because I kind of hate everyone here.
You don't have to say kind of.
Yeah.
You were supposed to hate everyone here.
Without knowing any of the guys, but being here and just the people, how they treat you from top to bottom. You know, you walk in and they're like, well, you're Saquon Barkley. And I had to make my mindset up again. It's like, no, you're right. Like, I am Saquon Barkley. Like, I got to get back to being that guy. So
When I hear you say, oh, that's right, I had to remind myself I'm Saquon Barkley. When did you lose Saquon Barkley amidst this journey?
I've lost it a couple times. But it's just like anything in life. Like, people fail to realize that we're human beings. They think
you think? The feelings?
They see you as an NFL star, NFL running back, that everything just goes perfect. But it's like in everyday life, like people that are working, like they have their ups and downs and they have their challenges, and you got to fight through those challenges and you got to overcome adversity.
Philadelphia is arriving back.
You already tested this fan base's loyalty in that game against the Falcons, and you handled it like a pro that you are.
He throws the football.
Would you say that actually brought you closer to this team and closer to these fans?
Fans, it's Philly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You gotta take it. You gotta take the punches and roll with it. I was getting some people telling me go back to New York. I'm like, well, they don't want me, so you gotta stuck with me for a little bit. So let's go through this journey and let's do it the right way.
The time it take to win, this time you know
We mentioned that we thought he had his legs back. He is gone.
It's your 7th year, but do you feel physically like it's the beginning?
Nah, it's always there. Okay. It's still there. I got trusted more on my long touchdown run last week. I kept going like this, looking back and forth.
Damn.
It felt great.
God damn, I'm tired as fuck. What time is it?
Yes, I'm enjoying
12:46.
I'm in the National Football League playing running back. It's something I want to do. Something I want to do. There's a lot of little kids that would love me in my position.
This Saquon Barkley on the field is good for the league, and it's good for fans, and it's good for Philly.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You know, you need a playbook, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're going clubbing tonight, Michael.
Not clubbing.
These guys are too old for us.
They can't stay past 8:30, so we're all right.
We'll be like 40-year-old virgin where the guy stops you, the bouncer at the door, like, you're too old, get out of here.
I love it how he just said, is that a drink? Well, I'll tell you who's not going anywhere, and that's Saquon Barkley. What a great fit he is behind this offensive line of the Eagles, but he's got to come up big today, Howie, in the absence of all of those big-name receivers.
Yeah,
and Lane Johnson being out.
It's a great piece. He's a great guy and a great football player, and he's a godsend for the Eagles, particularly today with their number 1, number 2 wide receiver down, their right tackle, all-world right tackle, Johnson out. Running the football and protecting the football is paramount today. Jalen Hurts has put up good numbers. Todd Bowles typically brings, a lot of teams when they say they bring blitz, they show 6, they bring 4. Todd Bowles brings 6. He's not showing 6, he's bringing 6, and that's a problem. Running the football negates that, and I think you have to ride Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. And, you know, and on the other end of for Tampa, I mean, they after last week's game, and this is in the heat. You heard Tom say it's a battle of attrition, and that's one in the trenches. And in this case, Tampa's going to have to do better on both sides of the ball. You have 7 sacks last week on that guy right there, Baker Mayfield. If your right tackle is out, of course, that's the problem. But on the other side, they only have 2 sacks on defense. Lowest sack total in the league so far this season. Vita Vea is back, but he's still dealing with a knee injury. That's going to help them a little bit. But it's going to be won by the guys in the trenches, especially when it's hot out there. Who's going to last? Who's going to be the team that pulls it out? Should be a good one.
Talking about fighting through injuries later today, San Francisco so beat up, coming off that devastating loss, DB, hosting New England.
Right, you know, everybody says, oh, they're worried about the 49ers. Listen, they lost by 3 points last week to the Rams. I'm not worried about them because Shanahan's the head coach, Purdy's their quarterback, and they're pretty doggone good offense, even though they got all these receivers out. Last week, Juwan Jennings came in and played outstanding. Career highs for him, 11 catches, 175 yards, 3 touchdowns, 5th-round pick out of... 7th-round pick, 5th-year guy out of University of Tennessee. They are fine. The problem I see it, Howie, you know more about this than I do, but I think their defense, they're under Nick Sorensen now. That is their 4th defensive coordinator in 5 years. They do get Funga back, possibly as a starter today of safety.
Yes.
Hufanga.
Hufanga.
Did I not say who?
No, you did.
No, I said who. Yeah. Who is Funga?
Yeah, it was a bit of a. It was a silent Hufanga.
It was a silent who.
Who?
Hey, Gronk, let's talk about this Washington-Arizona game. This is an exciting matchup all of a sudden.
Yes, Washington Commanders versus the Arizona Cardinals. Who would have ever thought after last year we would be talking about this game and actually excited about it going into week 4? I sure did not. And we all know the headliner, offensive coordinator for the Commanders, Cliff Kingsbury. And why is that? Because he was the former head coach of the Arizona Cardinals from 2019 to 2022, and he helped groom Kyler Murray into the quarterback that he is. You like that word, groom? That's the Gronk vocabulary right there, Michael.
Groom?
And now, and now he's developing Jaden Daniels into being an absolute stud this year and for his career.
Can you spell groom?
Yeah, G-R-O-O-M.
Oh, in your face. There you go. Let's bring in Jay Glazer to get last-minute injury updates with his in and outs. Brought to you by Geico. Rich Russo out, right, Jay?
Rich Russo's out. Even though people were trying to pick him up with their fantasy team, we love your Gronk. All right, hey, Howie was talking about Lane Johnson. How about this? Last night, Lane Johnson called me up and said, hey, I'm clear, I'm good to go. This morning, 2 other doctors jumped in. They said, no, let's hold off on this, and they're kind of trying to protect him from himself. So I really want to be out there with my guys, but obviously, when you're dealing with a concussion, it's different. The team they're playing against, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, have 2 running backs who are questionable. Rashad White put in the list yesterday because he had food poisoning. He's good today. Bucky Irving, hamstring, he's good to go as well. For the Green Bay Packers, playing against Minnesota, Jair Alexander, he's going to be out with a quad injury. New Orleans Saints looking to get back on the win streak. Alvin Kamara questionable with hip and ribs, but he is good to go. Dennis Allen said Chris Olave, his hamstring, the MRI, it's fine. He's good to go. TB, you were talking about the receivers for the 49ers. Deebo Samuel, he's back in with that calf injury, and also Trent Williams, he is good to go. Finally, guys, Max Crosby. Talking to Max last night, he said, look, I had a high ankle sprain a couple weeks ago against Baltimore. Last week, I felt like I was just playing on a flat tire out there. I'm not playing today. It's my first time I'm missing a game of my career. I'm struggling with that, but I'm looking to get back in next week. He's a warrior.
They certainly need him. Hey, time now for our FanDuel Hunch of the Week. This is where we build our own parlay. We will start with you, Michael. Kyron Williams of the Rams scores 2 touchdowns or more against the Bears.
Oh, absolutely. This guy's the absolute stud. He's going to give us 2 touchdowns or more, and that's enough for me to pick the Rams to win, Kurt.
All right, Howie, Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. Burrow throws for 275 yards or more.
I'm going to say Joe Burrow goes for over 275, and you know, there's must win. I think it's going over 275, and there's must wins, and then there's what this is to Cincinnati today. I've got Cincinnati.
And they're taking on the Carolina Panthers in Carolina. Meanwhile, TD Rashid Shaheed against the Falcons, 80 yards receiving or more.
Right
Absolutely.
Right
I see it. Absolutely. He'll go over 85 yards. He may even do 185. This guy's a stud. Not really, folks. I'm not going to do that. And the Saints win on the road.
You see, all right, new FanDuel customers, you can get an additional $200 in bonus bets when you sign up and make $85 bet like this one, which would pay about $299. Not a bad Sunday for you. Grok, we have to get a pick from you. We'll give you the Vikings and Packers. Packers actually favored in this game by 2.5.
Nah, they're not going to win. It's the Minnesota Vikings. They're red hot with Justin Jefferson and Sam Darnold. That momentum is not stopping.
All right, we will find out how all these guys do with their picks because it's time to enjoy another football Sunday. Thank you so much for watching Fox NFL Sunday presented by GMC. If you've got an early game, your kickoff is coming up next.
This is you, and this is your surprising hunch.
I'd take the over.
The kind of hunch that pops up anywhere.
Buffalo. It's Broncos time.
And right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5 guaranteed.
Carolina!
So you won't let a hunch go to waste and make every moment more.
New customers bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Only from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook.
20 seconds a week to lose 20% of your weight in a year with diet and exercise. That's the power of GLP-1s through Row. Connect with the provider today at row.co/20.
I have a surprise for you.
Oh, yes, please.
Feast your eyes on this.
That's sexy. Feels so new.
I want to feel this feeling again and again.
Can I hold it?
How bad do you want to hold it?
I'm not gonna beg, but pretty please.
Don't. Go ahead, press a button.
Oh, it's glowing.
Apple Intelligence. We should do this more often.
Agreed.
Rekindle the feeling of love with the new iPhone 16 Pro on us. And feel it again and again with the latest iPhone every year with AT&T Next Up Anytime.
Italian sausage, bacon, and pepperoni for only $8.99. That's the lowest price in 3 meat pizzas. Right, Professor Amon-Ra?
Meat plus meat plus meat equals...
The 3-meat treat. Order for $8.99 and get your game day delivered with Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
World, the time has come to push the button. World, the time has come to push the button. World, the time has come to push the button.
Get this low mileage lease on this 2024 GMC Hummer EV pickup for around $849 per month. We are professional grade GMC.
It's Fox College Football Friday, and it's a primetime Big Ten clash. In his chase for a Heisman, Dylan Gabriel leads Oregon as they continue their fight towards the top spot in the nation. But Michigan State has their sights set on a huge upset. Fox College Football Friday kicks off at 9 Eastern.
The Fox NFL Pre-Kick presented by Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side here in Tampa. It is hot, I'll tell you that. A couple good teams, too. The 2-1 Eagles visiting the 2-1 Buccaneers, the NFL on Fox, and we say, welcome. He's Tom Brady, and I'm Kevin Burkhardt. And it's like a homecoming for you. You're back where you won the Super Bowl title. Seemed like a pretty good day to be around you.
It's pretty awesome. I love when I hear those cannons go off. It feels like we're back in the red zone, but saw a lot of friends today. It's going to be a terrific game.
Yeah, I still get scared every time they go off. I'm not going to lie, every time I do a game here. But let's talk about the game itself. Last time the Eagles were here, Tom, their season ended in a wild card playoff loss. They made a lot of changes, and they've got a lot of changes today. No A.J. Brown, no Devontae Smith. How are they going to score without their top 2 playmakers?
It's going to be tough. It's one of those grimy, tough, hard-nosed games you're going to have to win on the road. There's no equal replacement for Brown or for Smith, so it's going to be a lot of what we saw the first 3 weeks. A lot of Saquon, a lot of Hurts, and a lot of Goddard.
Yeah, meanwhile, you look at the Bucs, and they
come off a tough loss at home to Denver. Mike Evans has been really, really quiet the last 2 weeks. Their perennial 1,000-yard receiver. Nobody knows more about throwing to him than you. You guys won a Super Bowl together. So how does it go today for them?
I love throwing the ball to Mike Evans. What a great teammate and target and champion he is. But if it's me, and I'm Baker Mayfield today, I'm throwing it to him on the first play, early and often, because when he gets going, he's the home run hitter. But this defense, they cover deep really well. They're back there. They don't want to give those up. So the Bucs are going to have to chip away until they get those downfield shots.
Yeah, it is hot. Might be a low-scoring game. More on that in a moment, but it should be fun. We're glad you're with us. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles taking on Baker Mayfield's Bucs. Kickoff on Fox. Coming up next.
Check it, kid.
Dude, I told you, DraftKings is the best place to bet touchdowns.
Best touchdown dance of all time.
Probably don't even know about this. This old school right here.
Oh, you want old school?
Oh, that's dirty. That's dirty. Look at me. I see what you're doing.
Oh, you don't see nothing. You don't want this heat.
No, man, that ain't heat. Hit you with this right here. Get nasty on it. Touchdown. I didn't know that was gonna break.
Get out.
Respect.
With DraftKings, new customers turn $5 into $200 instantly in bonus bets. The crown is yours.
Join us this Saturday and Sunday. Jersey Mike's is donating 20% of sales to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation.
Trains. Trains that sense what isn't on the schedule. Trains that use the power of Dell AI and Intel that see hundreds of miles of tracks, clearing the way so you arrive exactly where you belong.
Today's players to watch brought to you by Nationwide. Saquon Barkley's been terrific, 100-plus scrimmage yards each game this year. And Baker Mayfield's been good his second year at Tampa, but the third most touchdowns since Week 13 last year. Kickoff, Bucs Eagles, coming up.
Did you know Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company? They're one of America's largest financial services companies, too. Just like I'm so much more than quarterback Peyton Manning. I'm also Peyton Manning.
It's lovely, Peyton.
Did you say Peyton or Peyton?
Peyton.
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 Great work.
Thank you. For your insurance and financial needs, Peyton, Nationwide is on your side.
With CarGurus, filter millions of listings to land the perfect deal. If only you could do things your way all the time. Imagine that. Get it with Gurus.
Italian sausage, bacon, and pepperoni for only $8.99. That's the lowest price in 3 meat pizzas. Right, Professor Amon-Ra?
Meat plus meat plus meat equals...
The 3-meat treat. Order for $8.99 and get your game day delivered with Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza. Fox, home of Super Bowl 59.
Tune in to Fox 20.
Oh, chat.
At 10 a.m. for 4
And
on Fox. Sponsored by #1 Jeff D'Ambrosio Destination Downingtown.
My husband and I are going through IVF treatments now. It could be our only chance to have a family. But Donald Trump's plan is IVF in some states. My husband is in the military. He volunteered to serve. We are patriots assigned. What if we end up in a state where IVF is no longer legal? What will we do then?
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
This is a how-to guide to teach American companies to outsource jobs. And the president of the company that published it was Dave McCormick. Records show McCormick's company specialized in outsourcing, calling it a tremendous opportunity. McCormick met with CEOs to encourage more outsourcing and ship jobs from Pennsylvania to China. Outsourcing jobs to make money for himself. That's the real Dave McCormick. When Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
Kamala Harris is lying, saying she'll keep us safe. But Kamala's been soft on crime since day one.
As San Francisco District Attorney, Kamala let violent criminals go free, including Devondre Broussard, who brutally assaulted a man. And when Kamala put him back on our streets, he murdered 2 innocent men in cold blood. Kamala Harris has always put criminals first. Don't make America her next victim. Make America Great Again, Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Back to Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa, Florida, where people are hurting from Hurricane Helene. We send our thoughts out there, and they're hot if they're in the stadium, right, Aaron Andrews?
Oh my gosh, and going back to Hurricane Helene, Kevin, you know, as a team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers very fortunate in dealing with all that. Head coach Todd Bowles saying this week all the Bucs players, the staff members, everybody made it out okay. Now for their preparations this week, they did make slight adjustments, but Coach Bowles saying we didn't miss any meetings. We got it all in. Tom Brady, did you miss this heat on the sidelines? It's about 92 degrees right now. With the humidity, guys, it feels like a cool and crisp 104. Let me guess, that booth nice and cool and comfortable. Enjoy the buffet as well, my friend.
It is, 104 is hot. I would say that feels hot.
I'm sorry, it is cozy up here. It's toasty down there. I know that feeling.
You're finding a good way to alienate our sideline reporters early, I'll tell you that. Eagles won the toss, they deferred. Bucs will get it first. On a returnable kick, Trey Palmer, the speedster, on a rule and out of bounds right around the 20. And that's where we will see Baker Mayfield in his second year here in Tampa.
Excited to see Baker today. It's a tough loss last week, a game they expected to win against Denver. He's had a great season thus far, really good last year. Today, he's got to find Chris Godwin. He's the main target. And obviously getting Mike Evans involved early. He's said in the pregame, got off to a little bit of a slow start. If they want that home runner hitter working the way they want, they got to get it to him early.
Yeah, Evans at the time of his game to start off. And Mayfield looks that way, gets it to him, makes the catch. So that's a good start. Just as it's almost like you know something about throwing to Mike Evans. They get it to him the first play just like you thought.
I was looking for him every time, and when you have a receiver of that caliber, you want to feed him and get him into the game. All receivers want to get in the game early and touch it because you don't want to go a quarter and a half of the game and go, hey, did Mike touch the ball? So get his engines revving. Now, when you get a shot, try to take one down the field.
Second and 2. They're run here. White got a first down, breaks a tackle and more. Rashad way all the way across the 45. And a good run to pick up a first down for these Bucs.
The Bucs coaches is hype, chat. What the heck?
Little eye candy in the backfield. Pull the guard. The center round. White just finds his way through the gap and he runs hard. He's actually had not as much production this year, just 2-1 a carry. But he catches the ball so well. He's good in blitz pickup. You want to keep him in there. They can spell him with Irving. He's got a lot of yards per carry. But White, there's a lot of trust with him in the backfield.
Take it to him here. Mayfield, pressure coming, gets it out to Trey Palmer. And Palmer gets up to midfield. And you look at this Bucs offense. Well, Tom talked about getting Mike Evans involved, and Chris Godwin obviously has been great. But getting the running game involved, not so easy. They're without their starting right tackle, Luke Gedeke today, and they're facing a fearsome middle of that Eagles team.
Really tough. They need to be physical on the interior. Cody Mock, Graham Barton at center, Ben Bredesen. They've got to provide this physical element to the game that's been missing for a little bit of time here in Tampa. They've been way down the rankings with their run offense. They're going to need to continue to pound that ball against this front. You can't be one-dimensional.
Bucky Irving in the game now gets it immediately out of the flat, puts his shoulder down, and he's right around another Tampa first down. Going to be a little bit short. Look at the Eagles defense. So the first 2 weeks they gave up a ton of yards, and then all of a sudden last week they really were great against New Orleans, which was owning the league on offense.
Yeah, that surprised everybody last week. The highest flying offense. Eagles go in there, shut them down. And who shut them down? Their 2 interior defensive linemen, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis. They're so big and powerful. They just disrupt that offensive line in a big way. Throw all that timing off in the run game and the pass game.
3rd and 1. They're going to throw it outside to Godwin, 1st and 10. A much different look for this Bucs offense here than it was last week, Tom.
I love that design by Liam Cohen, the first-year coordinator. Just a little motion by Godwin. They're playing man, and they just can't. He runs over the top of that. There's just too much space for Godwin. Godwin's going to be a good mismatch all day. Maddox is a feisty competitor in there at the nickel against Godwin, but Godwin's just got too much size and too good of a catch radius to leave him that open there. That's an easy conversion.
So Liam Cohen, first-year play caller and defensive coordinator here, comes from the Rams, is incomplete. Trying to get it to White that time. And it's interesting, we were talking as we go back to Cohen, comes from Sean McVay, right? Young, energetic guy, but calling plays for the first time is not an easy thing.
Yeah, no, it's a skill set, and the more you do it, the better you're going to be at it. It's only his 4th game, and I think he's acknowledged some of the things that he'd like to do better. You see last week, they had 7 sacks. Now they've got 4 quick throws to start the game. So in his mind, he's thinking, what didn't work last week? How do I get to some of the things that he can do a better job of this week?
2nd down, trying to get a quick throw to Palmer. Use that speed. Gets a block, shoulder down, and going to be about a
Oh, they got a new speedster, Palmer. Where's the Godwin at?
That wild card round against the Eagles last year when he scored on a 56-yarder. As Todd Bowles,
I don't even know who the hell that is, Palmer. But I guess he's a speedster. Where's Godwin at? I see Evans, but where's Godwin at?
Made the playoffs last year, and Tom, after you left, I'm not sure many really expected that, but Todd kind of steered him there. Good play from Baker Mayfield, and D usually good. 3rd and 2. Mayfield quick again. It's tipped. Great adjustment. He's got 1st down. He's in. Rashad White inside the 10.
Oh, there go Godwin. I see him now.
Rashad White in there. Some fans have said that when Bucky Irving did last week. It's plays like this. Deflected pass. Bond gets his hand on it, and Rashad just puts his hands up, catches it, but not only does that, making people miss down the sideline. What a deflection. Great concentration. Rashad always has that body control, and Billy's just struggling to tackle. It was a problem for him in last year's playoff game, too.
1st and goal, get it out to Godwin. Couple blocks, Godwin inside the 5. This is, though, where the Eagles' defense has been really good. They've given up a lot of yards under Vic Fangio. In the red zone, they've been terrific.
Yeah, they're a good defense. They give you some things down there that are a little different than what you see week to week. He's got a good game plan package down there. To me, the easiest thing to do is to run the ball in. And that almost acted as a run play, that throw to Godwin. You just flip it outside the defensive line.
You see the Bucs haven't scored a touchdown on an opening drive in forever.
Yeah, I'm expecting Irvin to get this ball right here. Man-to-man on the left.
Mayfield looking left. Rolling left. It's Evans. Touchdown, Tampa.
Mike is one of the elite red area targets. His size and speed. They get him in man-to-man. Got Gardner Johnson on him. He runs a flag route, and there's no way you can stay with Mike Evans. Easy pitch and catch. I love Baker taking control at the line of scrimmage. They probably had a run called. He checked it, canned it to the pass. He knew Evans was going to be open. Great execution by the Bucs to start the game.
Extra point is up, and it is good. That is some start. 10 plays, 79 yards on the opener, and Mike Evans, touchdown machine, number 3 on the year. And the Bucs off to an early start here at home. And fans of both teams react to that one. That bird costume.
Yo. Nigga really came in an Eagles costume like they was going, yo. Hey, man. That's hilarious, bruh.
The time has come to
Get this low mileage lease on this 2024 GMC.
Oh, man.
Pick up for around $849 per month. We are professional grade GMC.
Hey, keep your head in the game, son. The scout from football college is up in the stands.
You'd rather go to school for insurance.
I didn't raise no insurance, man.
But you did, Dad.
Football's your passion. Mine's providing around-the-clock protection to progressive customers who bundle home and auto. Jamie, we need you out here for football.
You're giving up on your dream, James.
Know that. I'm giving up on yours.
Oh, James, wait!
That's not the answer.
Everyone is raving about the best origin movie ever made.
Come on!
We could have built the future together. I don't think so. Transformers 1, now playing. Rated PG.
BK Royal Crispy Wraps. Eat it with the meal or have it as a snack. Only $2.99. It's a hunger hack and it fits in one hand. And BK, have it your way.
We're only as good as our training, our tools, and each other. Let's get out there.
Look at us. We're short lifeguards.
Try not to screw anything up, okay?
It's easier to break off an engagement than get a divorce, am I right? I have my chance. Am I fluid?
I thought you said this job was easy.
Rescue High Surf, all new tomorrow at 9 after 911 Lone Star on Fox. J.D. Vance and Tim Walz face off. Shannon Breen anchors special Fox coverage. The CBS News Vice Presidential Debate on Fox.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Burger King.
Great play design here by Liam Cohen. You get Godwin on the motion to the outside. You create a little confusion, and you get Gardner Johnson a safety on Mike Evans, one of the great touchdown receivers since he's come into the league. I've thrown him a lot of those passes. If I get a matchup on Mike Evans, I'm going right to it right away. I love the design. I love what they did on the opening drive. Ball was out quick. No penalties, no negative plays. Way to go for the Bucs offense.
And so now it's the Eagles' turn. Jalen Hurts has his team off to a nice start at 2-1. He's had trouble, though, against Todd Bowles and Tampa's defense.
He definitely has, and you see 305 total yards of production. A lot like Lamar Jackson. So much of the offense goes through him. What he hasn't done a great job, and this offense hasn't done a great job, is handling the Bucs pressure. Bowles is a blitz coach. He wants to pressure 50% of the game. How do they handle it? And then ultimately, how do they make them pay? They need to show it early to try to settle that pressure down.
Gonna throw it first. He's got some time. Can't find anyone open. Barkley's going deep. He's gonna throw it deep. He's wide open. He threw it out of bounds. Oh, Barkley was all by himself, but they couldn't get it to him.
They want to keep Hurts in the pocket. He escapes to the right. And he's got Barkley down the field. He starts in the backfield. Just try to contain him. You really don't want him escaping to the right, and Barkley gets behind, and when you roll right and you throw it right, the ball just sails a little bit. Had an opportunity for a big play.
The three tight end here is Barkley running left side. Levante David says, And so we mentioned at the top, the Eagles without A.J. Brown, without Devontae Smith, without Lane Johnson, they're all pro right tackle. They are really in a negative there for talent today, but certainly not a negative with Saquon Barkley. He has been all that and more, leading the league in rushing.
It's been unbelievable, this resurgence that you've seen through 3 weeks, but I absolutely think today they're going to need a little more running back by committee. It's just too hot, takes too much of a toll, and the way that Bowles continues to dominate with players in the box, trying to eliminate that run game, it's going to be a big challenge. They're going to need that entire running back room. How do they handle the pressure?
Third and 8, blitz is coming. Hurts runs right into it, has a completion over there. It's Goddard, but he is short of a first down.
This is why Todd Bowles' defense is so tough. You just don't think Smith is a blitzer. Next thing you know, Fred Johnson, he shows up on him so quick outside, and he's too late to it. Hurts actually makes a good throw, takes a big hit. When you call that sprint out to the right, you're not even expecting to get hit. Next thing you know, a guy shows up in your face. It's a good play there by Hurts to get it off.
And so a dream start for Tampa as Braden Mann will kick it away. And we get a whistle. First flag, Carl Cheffers is our referee this afternoon.
False start. Number 36, offense, 5-yard penalty, fourth down.
It's on Tristan McCollum. His twin brother, Zion, is starting quarterback for Tampa. A little family affair today.
That's pretty neat. I find it always kind of amazing when the brothers and the Long brothers had so much success and how we...
Eagles suck.
Pretty cool.
Low sinking kick. Palmer is going to let it go. Now it bounces to him. And called fair catch. Can't take it. Flow the play.
He a dummy. He called fair catch and then try to run. Dickhead.
COVID-19. I'm not waiting. If it's COVID, Paxlovid.
Paxlovid is an oral treatment for adults with mild to moderate COVID-19 and a high risk factor for it becoming severe. It does not prevent COVID-19.
My symptoms are mild now, but I'm not risking it. If it's COVID, Paxlovid.
Dun, 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 dun.
The first 5 days of symptoms and help stop the virus from multiplying in your body.
Taking Paxlovid with certain medicines can lead to serious or life-threatening side effects or affect how it or other medicines work, including hormonal birth control. It's critical to tell your doctor about all the medicines you take because...
Damn, I hope this stream not copyrighted because I just said that.
Tell your doctor if you have kidney or liver problems, HIV-1, or are planning to
Shouldn't
become
be,
pregnant
though.
or breastfeed. Don't take Paxlovid if you're allergic to
I was asleep for a long time, though.
Serious side effects can include...
I ain't gonna lie, I can't see how I was asleep till 1 o'clock.
These are not all the possible side effects, so talk to your doctor.
We've been streaming for a long time, too.
Paxlovid. Ask your doctor today.
Rory never thought she would live out her dream. Then one day, she did. You were made to chase your passions. We were made to put them in a package.
Time is luxury. And time spent in a Polestar is the best time of your day.
Bro, I hope 425 come fast, too. Because I might have to take a nap till then, too. But if I take a nap again, chat, I ain't gonna lie. I might not wake up until, like, later. Like, really later. Like, by the end of the day. Like it's gonna be close to, like, tomorrow, like, type-ish. So that's why I don't know if I'm gonna take another nap. But it is good to take naps on football days. For sure, football game days. I should have took a nap yesterday, too. But I don't really got a college football team, so it's like, that's why I ain't taking a nap. Yesterday, I knew I had to grind.
Defensive coordinator Vic Fangio that came off a gem last week. You've gone against him plenty. Why is he always so tough for teams to face?
I know. I had him in my first career start. He had to remind us of that this week.
Yeah.
I didn't even remember that. And yeah, I played against him. He does a good job of making you be disciplined on offense. He really counts on that front four. I'm interested to see how he stops some of these quick throws. But that really killed him on the first drive.
Yeah, that was the whole first drive. Mayfield now goes a little farther over the middle. He's got a completion there for another first down. Right over the middle, it's Cade on the tight end who delivers. And Mayfield's off to a sizzling start.
Yeah, great. He really rips.
Bro, this is how Eagles lost to them in the playoffs. It's looking like the same type of game. Baker was going off, and they beat him. And now it's looking like Baker is going to beat him again.
Still coaching in the game. Thanks, Coach Moore. I mean, of course, famously,
Eagles still stink. Like, how do you have two? Like, how do you have? It looks like, don't they have two Georgia Bulldogs at D tackle? That's sad. Oh my God, you almost ran over the beautiful Eagles lady, curly hair. What are you doing, bruh? Nah, this nigga Godwin is trying so hard, bro. He's still wide open again, bro.
Godwin's too strong. When you get around him, you gotta wrap up. You try to
And I ain't gonna lie, the lady almost, like, she ran right in the direction that he was running into, too.
He's gonna make the first guy miss. He's just tremendously talented in his run after catch.
How about this? Buck saying maybe the runners are good. We just won't run today.
2-1. Wow, they doing the same plays. Eagles suck.
Absolutely dealing right now. Accurate passes, standing in the pocket.
And then Evans on the outbreaker on Blankenship. No way for him to cover that. I like
If he didn't slip, he would have better cover that. But this man, like, they play, like, the Eagles play so soft. It's always like they always slipping. They don't know how to tackle. Like, that defense is really suspect.
Evans is involved is exactly what you want if you're Tampa.
Damn, niggas' helmets coming off.
Yeah, Mayfield, 11 of 12, 123 yards, and a touchdown to start. That's about as good as you can get. And consider that last week total, they had 223 yards for the game.
Pretty exceptional. And I tell you,
It's crazy how Baker Mayfield is still doing this. Like, he been in the league long too. And I thought he was washed. But they put him on this offense. They put him with this type of offense. He just, for some reason, he just putting up elite numbers. I'm like, what the freak? Getting them to the playoffs. Getting knocked out in the first round. Getting knocked out in the second round. Bro, Palmer got a touchdown now. Not Evans, but Evans and Palmer. Oh, nah, Eagles are going outside. This is an upset. This is an upset. Oh, this is not an upset because they both 2 in 1 chat, so I'm tripping. Oh, now I see why Baker Mayfield is nice. Bro, Baker Mayfield, bro, this dude want to be Pat Mahomes so bad. Stop. Bro, he got Adidas cleats on too, bro. Oh, my God. Bro, it's like everybody that play with Adidas cleats, bro, is nice. Because of Pat. Bro, this, bro.
He's got an NFL offer.
Don't play with me.
Then we'll take it.
Aren't you a little too old to be playing football?
Wait, what?
They want somebody that can run a 40, not somebody that is 40.
One more touchdown,
you gonna say, bingo! How you gonna celebrate a win? You gonna give everybody butterscotch candy?
In a minute, I'm about to say it's suspect.
Probably out your pocket with no wrappers on it. You're just gonna give them raw candy. That's nasty, by the way.
With DraftKings, new customers turn $5 into $200 instantly in bonus bets. The crown is yours.
Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. McCaffrey looking lost.
Hey, I'm looking for a lawn. I'm looking for a lawn. Could you point me aisle 27?
Find what you need faster with the Lowe's app.
Blocked from watching the big match? Save the day by using the Bank of America customized cash rewards card and choose to earn 3% cash back on online purchases, like live streaming.
Hey. No flex, zone. Hey. No flex, zone. They know better. They know better. Wanna go? Never flex. Wanna go?
And that's why our favorite part of camp
was the ride to camp.
Can we please get a ride?
Sure.
Transform your cabin with the ingenious stowable second row center seat. Available on the Honda Pilot. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
This is Captain Owen Strand, Austin Fire Department. Help me.
Chaos reigns where a freight train has derailed.
Over! Captain Strange, you copy?
911 Lone Star, the final season, tomorrow on Fox.
Well, Baker Mayfield sizzling to start, and took a little playful jab at our guy here. Said, quote, they wanted me to come in, be myself, bring the joy back to football for guys who weren't having as much fun. It's funny, because you've made this environment for me very stressful up here in the booth, so I understand where he's coming from.
Do you feel it?
No.
Feel the stress? No. Well, I was going to say, I thought stressful was not having Super Bowl rings. So, there was a mindset of a champion that I took to work every day. This wasn't daycare. If I wanted to have fun, I was going to go to Disneyland with my kids.
Yeah, so, you know, as you were saying, go ahead. That's, you feel like, I feel like there's more in there to say.
there's a way to approach this game. Yeah. And it's that with the right mindset and try to push each other outside of our comfort zone. And great teammates do that. You come in, I have someone like Gronkowski, I have someone like Evans. There's high expectations for us. We got to make sure we go out there and deliver.
The competitive juice is still flowing.
It's still in there.
I love
no
it.
apologies.
Well, Baker's Bucks right now looking pretty good. Now it's up to the Eagles to wake up here. There is Hurts. He's got time. Lofty one. Got it. Only had he dropped it. Could have been a beautiful catch. Couldn't bring it in as we go downstairs with Tom Rinaldi.
I thought it was hot down on the field till I heard that last tape from Tom Brady up in the booth, KB. But the Eagles training staff has focused on this all week long with a key on hydration. They started giving the players IVs.